In this video, I would like to step you through the necessary requirements for getting your application properly linked to AskSteem and enabling your search results to start linking directly to your website instead of to steemit.com. So let's begin. You've probably already seen this page, which is www.asksteem.com/developers. And this is where a lot of the information you'll need in order to get this set up is located. So, for this video, I'm going to be using busy.org as an example, and I will be specifically using this post on busy.org announcing some mockups for the application named Zapple. So I've already gone and created a text document with some basic JSON that you might find containing information about a post on the Steem blockchain. And I've filled in all the information related to this particular post except for the metadata. You shouldn't really need to worry about most of this stuff because it's assigned automatically by the blockchain, so you don't really need to manually enter this. However, up here, this field, which is here called meta, however, normally this would be called JSON metadata, like so. However, I'm going to leave it as meta for the purposes of indexing this later in this video. And this is where you would enter in the custom fields. So let's start. So if we go over to the developer page, we see that the first field that we could enter in is the application field. Now this isn't required or even really necessary. However, it is nice for our ability to log what version of your application created each post, and we may use this in the future. Nonetheless, let's put it in. So we're going to start by creating a new tag here, and we'll call it app, and then we'll put a colon and put a key here. Now since we're using busy.org for this example, I will put busy.org's application data in here. In this case, it's busy/1.0.0. Oops. After that, we'll put a comma because this is JSON. And then we'll begin on the next part. Now, the essential parts are the domain and the locator. The protocol is also nice to have. We're going to include all of these. So let's put in the domain. Busy.org's domain is going to be just simply busy.org. This shouldn't have any slashes in it. However, if you do use a subdomain, you will need to include that. In the case of busy.org, it's just simply here. However, if they used www in front of their web address, you would need to include that here. In this case, we won't because they don't. We'll add another comma and continue adding metadata. Heading back to the developer page, we see that the protocol tag, although not necessary, is recommended. By default, if you don't include this, we'll assume your website is using HTTP. In the case of busy.org, we can see they have an SSL certificate installed, so there's really no reason not to include this. We'll create the tag and set its value to HTTPS, and then add another comma. The next part is Locator. This is the second required field for custom linking to work. In the case of this, what this needs to be is the actual path, including a beginning slash, from the root of the domain that you supplied that we would need to go in order to successfully reach your post. In the case of busy.org, we can see that that path is as follows: /Zapple, /@Zapple, /Zapple at mockup sneak peek to site sneak peeks. So in this case, we're just going to copy this and enter it directly into here for the locator tag. There we go. Once again, this beginning slash is very important, and although it may still work if you forget it, you shouldn't assume that. Let's continue. The description and thumb tags currently do not have any use. However, we may implement them with some functionality later on, so it might be wise to include them anyway. In this case, we will. For the description tag, we'll simply say, this is a post about Zapple on busy.org. Of course, you could put anything in here, and we recommend that you put something related to the body of the post. And then we'll also include the thumb field. This should be a URL to an image that represents your page. In this case, we'll head back to this page and we'll copy the URL to this image on the post. We'll paste this in and we'll use it. This could be any image, so it's up to you. We don't need to include a comma after this because it's the last item in our JSON meta object. At this time, we will copy this and include it in the index. Normally, you would just simply post this to the blockchain, and it would automatically get indexed by our blockchain crawlers. Now we're going to index this. As we see, it's been successfully created in the index, and it's now searchable live on the web. Let's take a look. If we just search the title, we should be able to find it. As we can see, we see our newly created search result right here, available live on the web. And we see exactly how it will look compared to the default version, which uses Steem. So by default, when you click on the link, it will take you to steemit.com. However, if you include this metadata, it will change the URL displayed here, and also the URL in which it takes you to. So now, if we click on this post, it will take us to busy.org directly to that post. If your site ever goes offline, our systems will automatically detect that and begin using the default steemit.com again until your website comes back online. I hope that this video has been helpful in helping you with implementing the metadata necessary to create custom search results on the AskSteem search engine. If you have any questions, please contact @asksteem.com. Or if you need a search API to access the Steem blockchain, please also contact us, as we may be able to assist you. Thank you.